Hi, my name is Nancy Roberts, and I will be talking about children today and the effects of media and electronic devices. Have you ever been in a grocery store and there you see a child who is not coping well, and then a parent who immediately puts a cell phone in front of the child and the child calms down? This could have been a great opportunity for the parent to show the child how to cope a little bit better, how to create those coping skills or start those coping skills, and also have a little bit of bonding time between the child and the parent. But instead, maybe the child felt more pushed away. This is some of the things that we are going to deal with as we go forward in society with children, electronic devices, and the use of television. Through the American Academy Institute and maybe the pediatrician, you'll notice that their guidelines is that anyone below the age of 3 to 5 should not really be on electronic devices and should have limitations to their television usage, but also definitely below the age of 3 they should have little to no interactions with these types of interpersonal devices, where they could be working with blocks, they could be also learning about puzzles. This might be a little bit much for a 3-year-old, but maybe not a 5 or an 8-year-old. And then that would keep them away from some of the electronic devices. There's much to be said for creative play and having those choices, and then that will help you eliminate maybe more problem choices in the future as you get older. With electronic devices so easily had, they're easily given right in the hands of a child, that actually goes against their creative skills, their social skills, and any kind of coping, and also definitely limits the bonding time with the parent and the child. For bonding time, that could give you the discipline and the guidelines for a child so that they could grow in how to interact with others, but also help with some of the choices that may be a little bit more difficult because they haven't come across that decision that they had to make. And so then therefore that parent is there to help guide them through that. So with that simple cell phone in front of the child because the child is having a bit of a fit, and then the unspoken, that is the parent then saying it's okay to act like that, or it's okay that you want the phone even though they probably shouldn't have the phone, then that doesn't give them any extra social development, doesn't give them any kind of coping skills, and it actually kind of keeps that parent kind of at a distance from the child. That may be how the child feels sometimes, that they can't come to the parent later in life because they always felt like they were a little pushed away when they were younger. So in the importance of playing and promoting healthy skills, child development, and maintaining strong parent and child bonds is K.R. Gisberg. That is a good way of seeing how a simple action could cause some repercussions later as a child gets older. The social interactions with their peers, that is going to be even stronger as they get older into their teen years and they have a lot more peer pressure. And then they may choose choices that would not normally choose because of peer pressure. And if they had that good strong foundation from the parent, then maybe they would have less peer pressure or less feelings of peer pressure, communicating with mom and dad about the peer pressure and letting them know what's all going on so that maybe they make a better healthy choice, or maybe they just discontinue having that person as a friend. Even through social media, through all these little devices, even a cell phone, it's quickly and easier for a child to gain access, or for others to gain access to your child, and it's just not a healthy way for the child to grow. Being outside, having creative play, whether it be with puzzles, deciding how to build something, having friends incorporate what they want so then it becomes a bigger project, will help them later in life as they do team projects in high school, or even in their later years as an adult in the workforce. So all of those things will help them grow as an individual and their personality. Being creative, being themselves, helps a child to develop because it also helps them to choose their choices or find those tunnels of when they had to make a choice to make bigger choices in the future. Discipline does not always have to be negative by not giving them that cell phone. Doesn't have to be negative. Encourage them by doing something else and distracting their attention to how many cups are there, or how many blocks do you see the J, or whatever you can do if you're in the grocery store or wherever you are, occupying their time that they're a little upset. So unfortunately, it's not easy. It is very easy for them to access electronic devices, maybe have time after school to watch TV. They should be doing their homework, and it's very much our job as parents to become a positive influence and helping them make those choices so that it doesn't impact them in a negative way. And also with knowing positives and negatives with discipline, and knowing that you don't get that golden star just because you're acting out. Structure helps to influence a child, helps to give them the reassurance that they need, and helps them to grow in their personality. Sometimes with not just teenagers, but unfortunately it could be someone as young as an 8-year-old, and if they spend too much time on media and with their electronic devices and just playing with those things on their own and not with the family or with their friends or outside and being creative, it can actually cause a higher increase of depression, anxiety, isolation, and unfortunately it can also end up in suicide or suicide idealization, which is very horrible with our children today. So infants and toddlers and television, that's from the Urban Child Institute. You should limit your child below the age of 3, and even limitations between ages of 5 and 8 has been directed of less than 3 hours. And then also for our American Academy of Institute, they are highly looked at with the pediatrics. And if you're at a pediatrician's office, you're not wrong for asking what their guidelines are for these devices that are so easily in our lives today. And being a parent is important and should be taken seriously, and it shouldn't be just up to the teachers in our schools.